So to water my front lawn, I use one of these Orbit traveling sprinklers. One of the things I want to try this year is to see if I could connect up a fertilization system so as this walks across the lawn, it will automatically fertilize the grass. So I bought one of these siphon, Venturi siphons that you put in line with the hose. It creates a low pressure at this point right here, and it draws up fluid from the pickup ends that you would put into something like a 5-gallon bucket, and it'll draw up some mixture, fertilizer or any other thing you want to supply to the lawn. And then to control the rate, there's this dial, goes from 0 to 5. That you can adjust to give slightly different flow rates. So I'm going to do a test, basically trying to determine what the flow rate is or the ratio, I should say, of how much ounces will come up through the tube for every gallon that is passed through the Venturi siphon device. And from that, that'll help me determine what kind of a dilution rate I would have with the fluid that's in the bucket, the pickup bucket. So first thing I'm going to do is just put some marks on my 5-gallon pail for every half gallon. That way I'll have an idea of kind of how much fluid is in there as it's filling up. And then I'll be drawing the liquid for the calibration test just from a regular measuring cup. One trick I'm doing here is I've just put 2 gallons of water in there and measure how many inches it is from the bottom. Turns out it's 5.5 inches. From there I can calculate what it is for each half a gallon, and I can mark that on the side of the bucket. So rather than having to mark it as I'm filling it up each time, make one measurement, do a bunch of marking. It says the end of a garden hose has a male end, and this also has a male end. You'll have to put an adapter that's basically female. And there's 2 types you can buy. These are the straight through types, solid piece, female. There's also a swivel version, a little different part number. That's the one I'm going to use on this end. So here's the setup. I've got the incoming water coming into here, going through the device. The device is connected up through this tube up to a measuring cup that I'll pour some liquid in that I've put some what did I put in there? Some Miracle-Gro quick dissolve chemical to give it a little bit of color so I can see it flowing up the tube. And then that's going to feed into this blue hose, which then goes into the bucket right here. So I'm going to turn on the water down there after I fill that up to 16 ounces, and we're going to drain it down and see how many gallons it took to drain that entire 16 ounces. From there, that would be on the highest setting, which I have as setting number 5, and then I'll repeat it for each of the other settings. Alright, give it the first try here. see it's sucking fluid there. That was the problem. It was suction against the sides off to restart it. But it's draining quickly. Look at that. Right, I got that tube set a little bit better, and I think we're ready to go. Give it another try. See it drawing down. Alright, I didn't do all the whole bottom because I got a little bit left over there because the tube's not quite on the bottom, but I'll take that into account in the math. You can see not a whole lot in the bucket for that highest setting, so that should increase as we turn that valve down a little bit. Definitely got some more. Yep, looking good. I'm running the hose a little slower so things don't go so fast on me. It shouldn't matter because it's just a proportion. There we go. Now we measure the bucket. Not seeing any suction. Nope, not working on setting 1. We're going to creak it to 2, see what happens. Yep, just about 2 it starts to flow. That's good to know. Repeating all of it at least 2 more times. This is setting 3, repeat. You kind of see how it works now. Everything's primed, so the water that was in the blue hose kind of stays in there. Instead of where I was dropping the hose on the ground before, it was draining a lot of that out, so that wasn't counting. So that was causing some error. Same with the tube, the clear tube that's been primed, stays primed between tests. I got the pickup sitting right at the bottom, so we're getting pretty much the full 16 ounces out of there. So I'll show you what it looks like with setting 3 running. See it drawing it down. Filling up. That noise, I think, is just a little air in my water hose. Starts to get to the bottom, I'll shut off the water. There it goes. And I'll measure this amount. We'll tally it up, see if we come to any conclusions.